Hi, welcome to Slow English with Brian. I'm Brian. This English podcast is all about language learning through comprehensible input and shadowing English. We will go through a story today to practice shadowing, and the topic of the story is something that many of you have been requesting: daily routines. I think that learning English through stories is a great way to learn. So let's start. I will read this story so that you will hear me once and then have some time to say what I just said. So listen and then copy. This story is called Ethan's Family's Routine and the Garden Surprise. Ethan is a cheerful boy who lives with his family in a small, cozy house near the edge of town. The word edge means something like this: the outside part of something. So the phrase "the edge of town" means an area that is in a town, but it's almost out of the town. He shares the house with his grandpa. In English, the word grandpa is the same as the word grandfather and granddad and even gramps. But some of them are more formal than others. The most formal word is grandfather. And when I speak normally, I use the word grandpa. Let's continue. His mom and dad and his little sister, Mia. Their home is full of love and the small joys of everyday life. The word everyday can be confusing because it sounds the same as the two words every day. The difference is that every day with no space means normal, and every day with a space means each day. So here is an example. I like to talk with everyday people every day. That means I like to talk with normal people every day. The adjective every day with no space means normal because if something is in our lives every day, it is normal. Let's continue. Every morning, around 7 o'clock, the house slowly comes to life. Here, the phrase "come to life" means wake up or have more energy. Ethan usually wakes up to the sound of birds and stretches before getting out of bed. Here, we don't need the word the or this or that before bed because we're not talking about a specific bed or even a real bed. We're talking about the concept of a bed. That's why we can say get out of bed. It's just like go to school. In that phrase, we don't need to say the school because we're not talking about a particular school. We're talking about the idea, the concept of a school. He brushes his teeth and washes his face and then makes his bed neatly. After that, he gets dressed and heads to the kitchen to have breakfast with the family. Here, we have to be careful with the word breakfast because it looks like break fast. In fact, it comes from the two words break fast. A fast is when we don't eat, and when we are sleeping, we are not eating. So in the morning, when we eat, we are breaking our fast. Because we took the word break and put it with fast and made them close friends, they started to get connected. So that's where the word breakfast comes from. We also changed the pronunciation because saying breakfast is easier than saying break fast. Grandpa is always the first one awake. He puts on his straw hat and heads out to the garden, while the rest of the family is getting ready for the day. In the cool morning air, Grandpa walks through the garden, checking on the plants. Here we can say checking or checking on. Both are okay. He grows tomatoes, lettuce, green beans, and colorful bell peppers. Because Ethan's parents are busy during the day, he spends a lot of time with Grandpa. Here, we need to be careful with the word busy. It looks like bussy or boosie, but we don't say it that way. We say the letter U as I, busy. Also, notice that the letter S makes the Z sound, busy. They work together in the garden, watering the plants, pulling weeds, and planting seeds. Grandpa always says, "Take your time, Ethan. Be patient and gentle to help things grow." Here, we need to be careful with the word patient. The letters T-I make the sound sh. Patient. Patient. Ethan's mom works at the local school. She's kind and organized and always humming a tune in the kitchen. Here, a tune means a song. She loves trying new recipes and often cooks meals she reads about in her favorite cookbooks. Here, let's be careful with the word cookbook for two reasons, but they're the same. Often, when we have two O's next to each other, they say oo. But in some words, they don't say oo. They say and cook and book are both words that have that sound in them. So we don't say cookbook, we say cookbook. Cookbook. Ethan's dad works from home as a software engineer. Here, don't forget to add the S to the word work to make works. We need to do that because Ethan's dad is just one person. It's like he, she, it. In the present simple tense, when we have a subject that is like he, she, or it, we need to change the verb. Usually, we add s, but sometimes we add es, like in the word washes. He keeps up with the news. Here, keep up means you don't let it go beyond where you are. So let's look at this race. We see that the two people in the front are keeping up with each other. They are running at the same speed. But the people who are behind them are not keeping up with the two people in the front. So, to keep up with the news means that you are reading the news about as fast as new news gets published. You can think about it like you are this runner and the news is that runner. If you keep up with the news, you know what the news is saying. And loves telling silly jokes. At the dinner table, Mia, Ethan's younger sister, is full of imagination. She packs her little bag with crayons and loves to sit under the big tree in the garden, drawing animals in her sketchbook. Her drawings of birds, cats, and butterflies always make the family smile. One sunny afternoon, while Ethan and Grandpa were checking the tomato plants, they heard a soft sound. It sounded like a cat's meow. Ethan turned around and saw a tiny, fluffy kitten sitting near the fence. Here, I want to talk about the word kitten. We can say it as kitten, but we don't usually say words like that if they end with a T and then en or in, in, like that, in ending. So, the words that I think of when I think of words that end like that are kitten, button, and smitten. We can say kitten, button, and smitten, but it doesn't sound as natural as saying kitten, button, and smitten. If you don't know how to do that, basically we close our throats for just a moment when we speak. I'll do this to show you when I do it. Kitten, button, smitten, like that. You don't need to speak that way, but many Americans and Canadians do, and people who use other English accents do it too. Where did you come from, little one? Ethan whispered. The kitten looked at him with big eyes and gave another soft meow. The whole family gathered to see the unexpected visitor. Mia was especially excited. Can we keep her? She asked, holding the kitten carefully. That evening, while Mom chopped vegetables from the garden and Dad set the table, the family talked about the kitten. Let's talk for a little bit about the word vegetables. This word is easy to mispronounce because we say it differently from how we spell it. We do not say the second E in that word. We do not say vegetables, or at least most people don't. Most people say vegetables, 3 parts, 3 syllables. Vegetables, vegetables, like that. Also, we normally use the letter S at the end of the word because most of the time we do not eat just one. We eat many of them, and we cook with many of them. After dinner, they all agreed. The kitten could stay. They named her Clover because she was found near the clover patch in the garden. The word patch can mean many things, but here it means a small area to grow something. This is a cabbage patch, and this is a clover patch, like that. After dinner, Ethan and Mia helped tidy up the house. Here we can also say helped to tidy up the house. Both are okay. Then they joined Grandpa on the sofa to hear one of his bedtime stories. Clover curled up on Ethan's lap, purring softly. By the way, I want to say this. The word laptop comes from the word lap. A laptop computer can rest on your lap, so we call it a laptop. By 9 o'clock, the house began to quiet down. Ethan and Mia got ready for bed, brushed their teeth, and turned off the lights. As they fell asleep with a smile, Clover snuggled at the foot of the bed. Here I want to talk about the 2 words as they when we say those words together. Normally, when I say they, my tongue comes out. They. But when I say as before, my tongue goes to a different position. It goes behind my 2 front teeth here. So to move my tongue out would need a lot of effort and some time. So I could say as they, but that doesn't feel natural. So what I do instead is if these are my 2 front teeth, I take my tongue, and if this is what I do for zzz, kind of near the front top of my mouth, zzz, I move my tongue forward so that it almost touches the back of my 2 front teeth to still make the th sound. As they, but faster, as they, like that. Here's how it looks. As they. The tongue moves very, very quickly between these 2 places. Zzz, zzz, even though normally we say th like that. You don't need to copy that technique, but if you can, your English will sound more natural. If you would like a video about that technique, let me know in the comments. It was the beginning of a new joyful chapter in their little home. near the edge of town. That is the end of the story and the end of the video. Please tell me in the comments if you have any questions or even if you just want to say something about the story or the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.